Bringing on the First Lady of War Radio, Miss Stacy Rush. What's up, Stace?
Hey, Mr. Wayne Dupree, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm peachy as a clam.
I know you are.
I am just ducky. At least my camera works. Okay, so
right off the bat, didn't
on
waste
cue.
it.
Ladies and gentlemen, no, I'm kidding. We got the cameraless Godfather of Water Radio, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr. What's up, Hutch?
Hey, good evening, Mr. Dupree. Good evening, Stacy. And can everybody see me out there? No, I guess not. Well, one of these days. Oh, my goodness. We're working on it, ladies and gentlemen. We are. Diligently.
And until that day, Wayne Dupree is going to continue to give you the hardest time ever.
Yeah, I sure am. Not only does he cry when there's a big event, his camera don't work. That's right. I'm going to get on him.
I know I needed to go back to church. That was another thing.
That's right.
It's probably affecting this.
Yeah, I forgot all about the church thing. Thank you so much. We want to thank everybody that's listening tonight. Again, Spreaker.com, RSBN.TV, WCCD AM out of the greater Cleveland area, AM 1000. Also on KTruth.com. We're broadcasting on KTruth. You can listen to us on TuneInRadio.com and CRN Digital Talk 1 and 7. Channel 1 and 7. You'll be able to listen to us national at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And Stace, you said that you can even pull them up on Roku, right?
Yes, you can. This past Friday, I was able to watch Wayne, not Hutch, of course, but I was able to watch. Sorry, Hutch, I had to just join in there on that.
I have thick skin, ma'am.
I know you do.
As you have to in this organization.
Absolutely. So, you guys, if you happen to have a Roku stick and applied to your TV, just go to YouTube, search RSBN, and find Wayne's show, and you can watch them up on your big screen. So I was able to do that this past Friday. It was awesome. My kids were able to watch you. We had a good time.
And for those that are talking about our picture that's on RSBN right now, we don't have anything to do with that. I just turned on the camera, and right now we're on 1/4 of the screen. So they will take care of it. I think Brandon is in charge tonight, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah, you know what it is. I'll tell you what it is.
What's that?
That's waiting for me on the other side. That's what that is.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. That's XSplit, and he's waiting for me on the other side, but he knows I'm not going to be here. I don't know. Come on, Brad. Let's work it. Get Wayne back full screen now. I'm not that black.
Not yet, anyway. He's working on it.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I got my trusty sidekick here, DJ T. Shake a head right here. You got that right?
The bobblehead.
The bobblehead right there. I got him right there. I told you he's going to be with me. Ladies and gentlemen, happy to have you. Long weekend. Well, actually, it wasn't a long weekend. It seemed like a long weekend, but we're back and we're better than ever. As you know, this is Real Talk. We're going to give you real talk no matter what it is. There are a couple things that I want to bring to the table tonight. I want to see what my co-hosts say about it. I'm going to give you my thought about it. And if your feelings are hurt about it, well, hey, work it out. Work it out. Give me a hug and let's keep going. I mean, time is too short. I'm not going to hell for anybody, so I'm not going to lie about anything. I'm going to be right up in your face, man. I want to know. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to delay it. I want to know about this Michael Flynn thing. This thing is on my head. This thing's on me too much that he had to go and apologize to Vice President Mike Pence. Now, listen, it's very important. It's way important if you have to go and apologize to the vice president, because the vice president stuck up for you and said that you didn't talk to the people when it looks like you did. That it's important. So I want to know. I mean, do y'all know about this story yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will finish up my thoughts, but Hutch, what do you think about this?
I think there's a couple things. I mean, I really challenge the truthfulness of what we're being told. If what we're being told is correct, and first of all, he talked to the Russian ambassador. To me, I don't think that's that big of a deal. He was the president-elect. This was going to happen. He was getting his act together. He was getting ready. The part I have a problem with, if he told his bosses that he did not do that.
That's what he said.
If he did that, then you have to question his reliability.
Right.
Not necessarily as a man or not necessarily as a general, but as a part of this team.
Right.
A subordinate part of this team. As a 3-star general, maybe he's not used to being subordinate. But I don't want to degrade the guy yet. I want to see what happens here. If the thing to me is, if he has a problem, Trump needs to act decisively. The president needs to act decisively. Don't let this drag out for 2 weeks and be the story.
That's what I'm saying.
Get rid of him and move on.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Stacey, go ahead.
And I think probably my guess is that he did exactly what they said he did. I'm surprised that he handled it that way. But honestly, if you're not wise enough to know that your conversations are going to be looked at when you're talking to the Russian ambassador, maybe you have no business being the national security advisor for Donald Trump. But I think Trump's hesitation on this is loyalty. And I know Mike Flynn has been extremely loyal to Donald Trump, was one of the first ones out of the gate. But I'm with Hutch on this one. I don't want to jump to the conclusion that something nefarious happened here. But if it did, Trump needs to get this over with quickly, because what it will do and what it has done is it's turned back on the story that I was already so sick of hearing before he actually was inaugurated, and that is the whole ties to Russia.
Right.
And it started beating that drum all over again. Yeah. And Russia, I truly don't believe, hacked into the DNC, and I don't want the story to continue. Right. And if he doesn't act decisively, we're going to have calls for hearings, and this is just going to be a complete nightmare for weeks to come.
And that's where I am right now. Believe me, I am not blaming Flynn for anything. I'm taking Flynn for his word. If he has to apologize, because Vice President Mike Pence told the media Flynn did not speak to any Russian official.
Right.
And that's based on the information that he had. So if Flynn had to go and apologize to Vice President Pence, then something's up. And I don't want the Trump I don't want the Trump presidency to go down just on this little thing right here. Right? I mean, and I'm not saying it's little, but I don't want it. Look, we're going into week 4.5. It doesn't need this. It doesn't need this. So if things have to be done, then do it and let's move on. But don't, like Stacey said, don't let this thing just go out and spread out and linger. Don't do that. Don't do that. I
mean, and let's not fool ourselves here, though. The story's not going to go away if he does, decisively say, okay, Flynn's got to go for misleading the vice president. Then that is going to be the story for a little while, but it's going to be a lot less of a story than it will be if they continue to beat the Russia drums, because they know it's something that has had some legs from prior to inauguration, and I think that's a bigger issue for them.
Hutch?
And I think the issue to me is not whether or not he made the call. I don't care about that. I think that's fine if he would have made it. The issue to me is he didn't tell the boss.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't operate on your own like that. And when you don't tell the boss, you leave the boss vulnerable for this, and that's a fireable offense. Mm-hmm. And a right now fireable offense because you didn't tell me. If you would have told me, it would have been fine probably. Mm-hmm. And Pence would have never got out there and said that. And,
right.
But you don't know. He might have told the boss, and the boss never told the second boss.
Well, and two, yeah, absolutely. That very well could be the case, and it could be that I think someone in the chat room said that Russia, maybe they asked about the sanctions, and he said that's just something that we'll have to discuss at a later time. But I don't know that there was any. I don't know then how big of a deal is that, just having the word sanctions mentioned in the conversation. I don't know.
My thing is right is right and wrong is wrong. Did you speak to Russia? Yes or no?
Right.
Yes or no. I mean, take your lumps, take your medicine and go. Look, the American people say we don't want no politicians. You hear me? The American people say we don't want no politicians. We want somebody that's going to go in there that talks our talk and walks our walk. Even though he is a billionaire, he listens. He knows what we talking about. He knows what we thinking. So, yes, we are going to trust him to go in there and straighten things out. Straighten things out. Not act like what has been done before. Straighten things out. Now, if he admonishes Flynn or something like that and they work out the situation and he goes forward, that's on them. I just don't want it to pull down the Trump administration this early. It's not even a month yet. It's not even a month yet. With all the attacks that he's getting right now, these little wussy
landmines. That's what these are, and there's going to be more.
I mean, right, and it's going to. He doesn't need this right now. I mean, I'm playing defense right now. I'm playing defense. We don't need this. So that's where my mindset is. I ain't trying to start nothing, and if y'all think I am, I ain't had nothing to do with it.
Don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Look, I ain't had nothing to do with it. This is my opinion. My opinion is I don't want him to take on any more water than what's coming on right now. You already got my girl Kellyanne apologizing already for what she said about Ivanka. And for us, we really don't mean anything.
Look how they're reaching though. I mean, you look at the last.
It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter.
We're talking about DEA agents that were killed, and we're talking about a dress now and some shoes and a phone call. That this is what we're up against. Don't get discouraged. We're okay.
I don't know anybody getting discouraged. I just want us to stay above what stay on the right track of what we said that we were going to do.
I can tell you guys just from some conversations that I've had with people who know that I pay close attention to what goes on in politics, but they don't. And so over the past 4 or 5 days, I've had several people, come to me and say, is everything going to be okay? Are we going to be okay? They're very concerned about everything that's going on with all the protests. You and I know that much of that is generated by folks like, professional rioters, if you will, professional anarchists. But the average American who doesn't pay close attention to this, they don't necessarily know that. And they are a little bit concerned. So, Wayne, hearing what you're saying right there, I do think it is smart to really play the defense, because I don't think he needs to take on any more fire than he's taking on right now, because it's 24/7 against him at the moment.
Look, and we don't need. I was listening to somebody earlier this weekend. We don't need 24-hour news. Whoever came up with that junk was smoking crack and eating one of those chicken bowls at Kentucky Fried Chicken. We don't need 24-hour news, because every hour they're repeating the same damn thing.
Or they make stuff up. They have to to have content.
So right, I mean, and that's one of the perils of 24-hour news. They don't have enough, so now they got to start making stuff up. But the Trump administration just don't need this right now. That's where I am, and I ain't trying to convert nobody. I just want you to know where I am right now. That if Michael Flynn, General Flynn, I admire you. We try to get you on the show. There's a Mexican wall up between us right now, but don't worry, I'll take it out in a little bit.
He's not my favorite guy, man. He's really not. He has some opinions on Turkey that I think we need to revisit. You know, we've been an ally with Turkey for a long time because of NATO and because of the Korean War and some other things. And I'm just not sure that we need to ally with a country like that anymore. I don't know, but that's for another show.
Good. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you listen to the Wayne Dupree Show. That's one of the main things that was on my head. It was rolling around in my head tonight. And, you know, like I said, I don't want anything to happen with the Trump administration this early, especially with CPAC coming up, because
that's going to be a roller coaster ride.
Firing squad, man. See, we told you. I don't want to hear all that mess. But let me switch over to, and I'm not even going to attempt to say her last name, but she's a model. And I just saw this before I came on the show. She's a model. Her name is Emily. I don't know her last name. Does anybody know about this story real quick?
I don't think
I
do.
Not so far.
Okay, all right. She's a model. She's a Bernie Sanders supporter, as a matter of fact, too. She, while in the at an event, was sitting beside a New York Times reporter who called Melania Trump a hooker.
Oh.
And this Bernie Sanders supporter tweeted out
I did hear about this story.
Sat next to a journalist from the New York Times last night who told me Melania is a hooker. Whatever your politics is, it's crucial to call this out for what it is: slut shaming. I don't care about her nudes or sexual history, and no one should. Gender-specific attacks are disgusting, sexist bull crap. She said bullshit, but I ain't gonna say that.
But I'm not gonna say that.
I'm not gonna say that on the air.
I wouldn't do that.
I'm just gonna say bull crap. But thank you, Emily, for doing what you did. Look.
And what happened to the reporter?
Nothing yet.
Yeah, the New York Times admonished him.
Did they?
They called him out. Yes, sir.
What's his name?
I don't know, but that's the story I saw, that the New York Times reporter that calls Melania a hooker is reprimanded by the job.
Okay, all right.
I don't know the extent of it. I just saw the headline.
Okay.
But it's about time, man. These people, I think the story right now to me, Wayne, is the press. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if you saw any of the things on Sunday, but they sent that guy out there. What's his name?
Brian.
He was on every
Miller?
show on Sunday.
Miller, right?
Yeah, Miller. He beat George Stephanopoulos over the head.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was so good. This guy, if you haven't watched it, ladies and gentlemen, go find it. Go find George Stephanopoulos' his interview with Miller, Scott Miller, Steve Miller, something like that. Guy's like 30 years old. And George Stephanopoulos, you can tell he's a Clinton Foundation donor. You can tell he worked for the Democrats. He tries so hard to take this guy down, and Miller wasn't giving him an inch. It was wonderful.
Stephen Miller.
And how did you love that? George was beside himself. He was so angry. Hutch is right.
Oh.
You need to go take a look at it, because it was interesting. I tweeted after I saw that video a little bit about that, because Stephen, he was asking him, you said that there was voter fraud in New Hampshire and and you have offered no proof that there was any voter. Let the record show, Stephen.
6 times.
He said that same talking point over and over again. And Stephen's point was, there is voter fraud. And my point was, yeah, George, if you're so looking for proof in voter fraud, why don't you send some investigative reporters from ABC to actually do some research? Yeah. But you won't do that.
Oh, no.
Because you know what the results are. There is plenty of voter fraud. The other thing that George Stephanopoulos knows is that the average American person, and that would be 60 to 70% of us, believe that one voting, one fraudulent vote is too many. And I just was like, keep on keeping on, George. Keep on keeping on. You're a moron. And he did. He whipped him to pieces.
Stephanopoulos was stuttering, man. I mean, it was, watching that interview was like taking my wife out to a 5-star restaurant, man. It was elegant. It was, I mean, we need more of that. We need more of that. I've been saying this for years. The Republican Party, or whoever represents us, the people like us, needs to go out there and beat these people down. They're working for the other side.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We need, look. Now, I said I was on the defense with what's happening with the Trump administration right now, because I think that they should have a chance. Media doesn't think that they should have a chance. These backwood maggots that call themselves the Congressional Black Caucus, they don't think that he should have a chance. I think that he should have a chance. So that's why I'm on defense that way. But I'm on offense when it comes to the media. I'm on offense when it comes to the Democratic Party. I'm on offense when it comes to these Muppet puppets that run out and try to do protests at the drop of a hat. That's where I go on the offense, because honestly, Hutch knows, I know, Stacey knows, I think all of them should be shot. I do. I really do. I think all of them should be shot. You wanna dress up and act up? Okay, all right.
You know what's worse than that, Wayne?
I ain't gonna yell at you.
You know what's worse than that? What about Jason Chaffetz, man? Why do you do that right now? Why do you come out and make a spectacle of yourself and try to tear down your own operation before it gets started? Was it that important to you, Jason?
You want to talk about a little B? Jason Chaffetz is nothing but that.
He's always been that, though, you know? He's always been that.
He's awful.
Yeah.
He's one of the worst. One of the absolute worst.
He's always been that. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not Starbucks. This is Dunkin' Donuts. So, yeah. I mean, Starbucks is going through something internally with the Democratic Party. The Muppet puppets are slamming all these Starbucks stores. So, I mean, I'm gonna let them deal with that, and I'm just stuck on Dunkin' Donuts right now. Now, if I figure out Dunkin' Donuts got a problem,
Krispy Kreme has good coffee too. That's what I drink. And they have a good calendar too. Have you ever seen the Krispy Kreme calendar?
That sounds like an evil laugh, don't it? Stacey.
Hey, can I give a shout out real quick to Lakeem Kodra? You're blowing up my timeline, and I am loving it. Thank you very much. He does this about once a week on our show, and I love it. I think it's great.
Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, you listen to the Wayne Dupree Show. Yeah, those two stories are a couple things that I was looking at. Stacey, did you have anything you were looking at?
Let me tell you what was on my mind last night. A couple of things. First thing was fantastic Make America Great Again dress at the Grammy Awards. I am sure that most of you guys saw that. Joy Vila was wearing a dress of a designer, an immigrant, a gay immigrant who is pro-Trump, and made her fantastic dress. If you didn't see it, you need to get online and take a look at it. You want to talk about some guts? I think that showed more guts than anybody in Hollywood as of late. It's real easy to jump on the I hate Trump train, and the world is coming to an end because Donald Trump, was elected president. And this woman gets out there in all of her beautiful glory, first she was wearing a white cover to it, and then she unleashed it, and she looked absolutely stunning in it. And I think the bigger story is that the designer of the dress is a gay pro-Trump immigrant, and I thought it was fantastic. What I did not think was fantastic, although it shows the true colors, and they do this to Milo, they've done it to Joy, they did it to a New York Post writer who happened to be assigned a story to write a story about Milo. when the left calls themselves the party of tolerance, they call themselves the party of African Americans. They call themselves the party of women. They call themselves the party of the gay community. Until a gay person, a woman, or a minority does not agree with their group think. And then they take to Twitter and they take to social media and they try to destroy those people who disagree with their group think, like they did with Joy, calling for her to be killed last night. And I found that